My name is Krista, and this is my story. So, when I was born into a really bad family. My mom was a stripper, a hooker, a drug addict, an alcoholic, and when I was born, I would always see her fighting with her boyfriend, who I thought was my birth father because I didn't know any better. So he would always punch her, hit her, throw her on the ground, and since I was so young, I didn't know what to do. When I was about 3 years old, the police came to check on my mother because she has had a history with not taking care of her kids because I had about 8 other siblings with all different fathers and they all got taken away by DSS. So when they found me malnourished and soiled. The last memory I have of my mom was her trying to shove a knife down her boyfriend's throat. After that, they gave her the choice to either break up with him and keep me, or that she could just stay with him and give me away to wherever. And she decided to stay with him. A little bit after that, she actually went to jail again for robbing a gas station. And I was in a really bad foster home because I was really young and I was taking care of other foster children. And they didn't care about us. They really didn't do anything for us. They had their own children and they paid a lot of attention to them, but they didn't pay any attention to us. Luckily for me, DSS did finally track down my birth father, and he came and he adopted me. And I was really happy for that because I didn't want to live in that foster home for the rest of my life because it was horrible. So for the first while, living with my birth father was great. He met this girl that they were dating and she became my stepmom. They had an amazing wedding, and at first we were just living in an apartment and we were all getting along and it was just a great family. Then after they got married, we decided to move into a bigger house. And that's when it kind of all turned for the worst. They would abuse me, both of them, mentally and physically. And when my mom was at home, and it was usually on Saturdays because she would be teaching students at a daycare. So what he would do is he would come in my room and he would touch me and get me to take all my clothes off and have sex with him. I was really young, so I didn't know that that was a bad thing. I didn't know that that wasn't supposed to happen. I just thought that it was normal, so I just let it happen. One day at school, I was talking to a kid, and the teacher overheard, and she thought that something was wrong at my house, so she decided to call DSS, and everything pretty much came out that I was being abused and raped in my own house without my mom knowing, and I had to live with my grandparents. They had the choice to take me in, but they decided not to. So at the age of 7, I had to get a rape kit. And ever since then, I've been scared to take my clothes off in front of doctors. And I'm 15 now, so it's been a while, but I'm still struggling with that. We had to go to court. Luckily, I was too young, so I was never in the courtroom. But throughout the years, I figured out that the rape kit didn't have anything in it, so they didn't have any evidence that my dad had raped me. So he got to walk away free. In the courtroom, he told the judge that he didn't want anything to do with me. So I'm not allowed to speak with my birth dad any type of way, and I'm not allowed to see him because he said that he didn't want anything to do with me. So after that, I got put into another foster care. Luckily, this foster care is different. They actually took care of me. They were really nice, and I had foster sisters that we all got along together, and it was really great. One day, my foster mother, her brother came over with his wife, and they saw me, and they immediately fell in love with me. They decided they wanted to adopt me. So, of course I said yes, and now that foster family is actually part of my family, which is wonderful. So I started living with this family, and I've lived with them ever since. Obviously, it hasn't been perfect. No family is, but this family loves me and is a stable family. So, when I was in 6th grade, I got bullied really bad. People would call me fat, ugly, a slut, and a whore. And I started to believe them. I kind of turned suicidal and started self-harm. My parents found out about this, and they wanted to put me into a mental hospital, but the guy that was there was talking to me, and I got him to let me out. So I ended up coming back home, having to get counseling, and was put on antidepressants. In 7th grade, there was a kid at my school, and he told me to go kill myself. I know that he didn't mean to do it in a literal way, but he didn't know that I was struggling, so I took it literally, went home and told my parents, and just cried in my mom's arms. When I was in 8th grade, I still got bullied. People hated me, and I didn't know why. I still don't know why till this day. Till this day, I still struggle with self-harm and suicidal thoughts, but I learned to manage them. Recently, in the past month and a half, I got sexually assaulted. Luckily for me, where I was, a person walked in and the guy stopped and nothing really bad happened to me. But I still struggled tremendously from that. I really wouldn't leave my house unless it was to go to counseling, and I stayed away from school for the rest of that week because I was so traumatized by it. Luckily for me, my mom called the Sexual Trauma Service Center, and they helped me through it the first night. Ever since then, I've really been going to counseling with them, and they've helped a lot. One other thing that's helped is last year I went and I did a walk a mile in their shoes, and it's for victims that have been sexually assaulted or raped. This year, I did the exact same thing, and that has helped too. I'm not making this video so people can say, oh, I'm so sorry for her, and just feel pity for me. I'm making this video because I personally want my voice to be heard. No one should get away with anything that involves rape or sexual assault. That is a crime. I don't want any girl or boy to be sitting in the shadows and acting like they don't have a choice and that they don't have anything that they can do for themselves, because they can't. They need to tell people, and it's hard to tell people, and I get it if you don't want people to know about it. I have a hard time telling people myself, but telling people as a help, because people are there for you and they love you. You need to stand up for yourself, because if you don't, no one will. I know a lot of other girls have made videos like this, and I'm proud of them for it. I'm hoping that my story can reach out just maybe to one person and help them. Because I don't want anyone to go through what I had to go through. Because you can sit there and feel sorry for yourself, or you can do something about it. The feelings that you're going through will never go away. I have dealt with them for my entire life. They don't go away. They never will go away. But you learn how to handle them and cope with them. If you just sit there and say nothing and pretend like it doesn't happen, those feelings are just going to get worse. Not up. They're going to get worse. You need to learn how to handle them and cope with them. And the only way to do that is to tell people. I hope that this video has inspired you to go out there and tell people what happened to you. Even if they don't go to jail or get in trouble for it. If the person who sees this video knows what they did. They know that it's wrong. And if you make that video, they're going to know that too. And the more people who know that so many kids are getting sexually assaulted and raped, hopefully the less that it will happen. I'm Krista, and I approve this message. Thank you.